Thank you very much, Madam Chair, for calling this important hearing. In 1995, the Congress passed the CAA, which allows staff to form, join, or assist a labor organization for the purposes of collective bargaining. So this was like a mini Wagner Act, an NLRA for congressional staff. And it set up a two-track process for the potential unionization of congressional staff. The first track went into effect when OCWR released regs for unionization of staff in certain legislative branch agencies like the Library of Congress and the Capitol Hill Police. And unions have indeed existed at these agencies for more than 2 decades. The second track allowed OCWR to promulgate regs allowing for unionization of staff in our personal and committee offices in both the House and in the Senate. But these regulations would not come into force until the House or the Senate passed a resolution adopting the proposed regulations that had been promulgated. These regs were indeed printed in the Congressional record, I think on September the 4th, 1996. But neither the House nor the Senate has ever moved by resolution to adopt these regulations. So the unionization rules have not gone into effect for the last 25 years, leaving members of the House and Senate staffs unable to unionize. So my first question is, are these regulations still live at this point and simply awaiting action by the House and or the Senate? Would it suffice for either House to pass a resolution to allow staff members in the respective chambers to organize? And I can, start with you, Ms. James.
Thank you. Yes, our board did propose regulations many years ago. I believe they were withdrawn. I think Barbara Kamens might want to speak to this.
Just to clarify, Representative Raskin, I do believe that you stated the historical course of events accurately, in the sense that in 1996, our board adopted regulations that would govern the rights of collective bargaining and unionization with regard to members of Congress. So they were adopted pursuant to a section in our statute. I believe it's section 304 of our statute. They were then sent for publication in the Congressional record. In order for them to go into effect and be issued, it would require action on the part of the House and the Senate through resolution. And I believe the position of our office is that those regulations are available for approval by Congress. Now, having said that, those regulations were issued by our board, I guess 25 years ago. It was before the current iteration of the board, and we have not addressed them in any of our 102B reports since that time. But you state the process, the historical process, accurately.
So do you think those regs would need to be updated or revised before the House or the Senate were to act on it? Ms. Kamens?
It's our understanding, in consulting with our general counsel, that they are available for congressional approval.
Yeah, no, forgive me, but I don't mean in a legal sense or parliamentary sense. I mean substantively, are there changes that you think should be made before either House were to act?
Our board has not formally re-examined those regulations since their adoption 25 years ago, which was before any of us sat on the board, meaning the 5 current board members. We have not looked at them, we have not re-examined them, and we have not taken a position on them. So I would think that in order to respond to your question, it would require additional deliberation amongst all of the members of the board. I can't speak for the other members of the board.
Okay, thank you much for that. I'm just running out of time. One last question having to do with January 6th and the OSHA investigations. I know that you opened an OSHA inquiry into the lack of PPE that was provided or was not provided to Capitol Police. And there were other occupational safety and health concerns arising out of January 6th. I'm just wondering what's happened with the citation that you issued, citing 4 or 5 serious violations by the Capitol Police, and whether the Capitol Police have developed plans to better protect Capitol Police employees, whether these plans are underway or have been filed with you.
Congressman Raskin, let me just say that this is a matter that is currently in front of our general counsel. It is a matter that will ultimately or could very well come before us as a board. So it's very difficult and probably inappropriate for any of us on the board to comment on the citation that could come before us, and we need to stay back from it as best we can.
Gotcha. I think my time is up, Madam